Welcome, minion.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? I'm trying to... Chatting, that was from the... I'm trying to find what cool things I've got that I could show you. They're not really doing anything. There's nothing for you to look at. Have I missed anything? I've already missed something. Dark Invader, resub 36 months. And Nibanin, resub 63 months. Look at that. 36, 63. Over on Twitch. I should have something playing, shouldn't I, here? Just something in the background. Well, I'll tell you what. I could start Baldur's Gate. I could start Baldur's Gate just because it's got kind of relaxing music, even though... Oh, my God, I just realized. I probably should, any of the moderators able to quickly change the Twitch thing to talk shows? Just so people don't get the wrong idea. There you go. See, there's, at least we've got something, because that's what's coming in half an hour. So basically, this is just a bit of a test to see if this is better, to see if people prefer this. I will just chat. I've planned for about half an hour. I will chat, and then I will switch streams. For Twitch viewers, nothing will change. Nothing will change. It'll just be for YouTube people. I will stop broadcasting, change broadcast, and then start broadcasting there. And then the people in the VODs can very, very quickly just straight through. There you go. It's a test. It might not work. So how is everybody do? Don't cross the streams. Oh God, yes. A hype train is close. Because we got another sub. We got another sub. Scoots McBoots. Resub 7 months. I gotta tell you this. The Twitch names, they're a bit better than the YouTube names. No, don't take that personally, YouTube. I think a lot of it's because, you know, Google did that whole, you have to have a proper name. Whereas Twitch was like, go nuts, have fun, go nuts. And so people did. Scoots McBoots. Ransden, 2K20. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Do appreciate it. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Love the channel. Love you right back. Building out a new Skyrim VR mod list now that VR supports ESLs. All right. If you really want to get crazy, you could stop and start the Twitch stream too. Angry Goat Joe does that when he switches focus on the stream. It might be a nice idea, actually, because some people do watch VODs on Twitch, just not many. I'm not even repeating what you said, Darhadrone. I'm not starting a YouTube versus Twitch war. Be nice. Twitch is being annoying and restarting the 30-second ad if I tab out, so I'm here. Well, you do get a higher quality stream over on YouTube, so it's a bit delayed, though, because of that extra quality. To get the same response time as Twitch, I'd have to run it at 1080p. And people seem to like the 1440p. And I can't say I blame them. Not gonna lie, I missed the Minecraft live streams. Alright, yeah. Well, I don't think I'm going back to it, at least not anytime soon. And if I do go back, I'm going back with my son and we're just gonna peace out. And I just love the Twitch emotes more than the YouTube ones. I need to get some more YouTube emotes, but I don't think they do animated emotes. They're way behind on the streaming, aren't they? Gotta have those pixels. Totally, gotta have the pixels. So, what does everyone want to talk about? I've got a podcast. We are not going to spend the entire half an hour speaking about YouTube versus Twitch emotes. Or maybe we are. You never know. These streams never go to plan. Never. Is 1440p a member option? 1080p 60 is my max quality options. Plenty of bandwidth. I don't think it's a member. I do not believe it's a member option. I don't even know if there are member options. Am I streaming the wrong quality to YouTube, guys? Can someone else confirm they're getting 1440p? Am I going to do more of Leonard and Inigo? The answer to that question is a resounding yes. Basically, when I was reviewing the Bard's College expansion, I used Leonard. And that mod is an absolutely superb fit to Leonard. It really is. So, I mean, if you remember, Leonard joined the Bard's College anyway. He did see the sort of advantage, the potential to having the song singers, the storytellers on your side, but of course they were a bit of a disappointment. Well, now they're not. And so he actually fits in rather well there. And I also did a couple of episodes of the East Empire mod, which I didn't finish. That's one of those mods you sort of just continue as you go. So I did 2 episodes of that, and then I did what looks like about 10 episodes worth on the Bard's College, but I got nowhere near finishing the Bard's College. So I expect another 10, maybe more episodes. I mean, I've no idea how far I am into that. So I'm going to guess it's going to be a full chapter. It's going to be a full chapter of the Bard's College, but the recording is already started. So all I need to do is edit it together, and that will take over from Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's got about 5 weeks or something. I don't know. What episode we're up to? 37? It's less than 5 weeks now. Episode 50 is the last episode of Cyberpunk. So, Nikki D, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do I think there will be subsequent chapters to the Bard's College chapter for Leonard? Well, I will let you into a little secret. I was thinking, I have been planning another chapter. I've got 2 or 3 ideas of chapters for Leonard that have just cropped up over the years. There's still plenty of things to do. The biggest problem is sometimes it's difficult to fit Leonard in. The Companions questline, for example, little tough to fit Leonard in there for obvious reasons. But there is actually a mod that lets you, refuse the gift, so to speak. I'm assuming at this point. I will try not to give spoilers anyway, just in case there is someone out there who's never played Skyrim. You can refuse the gift and continue on with the Companions quest line. So that might actually make that possible. And there are a few other ins for possible other content that I've looked at and thought, I could probably make this work. There is, of course, the potential for Beyond Skyrim and mods like that. So I think with Leonard, there are potential chapters on the horizon. But it's all going to come down to how well the Bard's College is received. You have to remember, Leonard's story arc is over. And whilst there are still things for him to do. He's no longer... I mean, he's reached a point where he is no longer out of his depth. More or less ever. The actual problem for Leonard, having played 10 episodes of the Bard's College, Leonard's problem now is actually overconfidence. So, believe it or not, that might sound strange, but that is actually probably his biggest weakness. Recently, a lot of that's because he hasn't been out for a long time. Him and Inigo have been sorting a few minor things out. But of course, with all of his newfound power, Leonard has become a little secure. So it does change it. So we will definitely have to change.
Welcome.
We'll have to gauge how the chapter does as to whether or not there will be future ones. Phantom, thank you for the resub. Thank you for giving us so much hilarious entertainment over the years. You're worth every penny. Well, thank you very much. Could always bring Richard back. Richard's really finished, but Richard was a Skyrim playthrough, not a Skyrim special edition. I am not completely sure I ever want to go back to Skyrim. So... yeah. I'm not even sure I've got the save for Richard, but even if I did, I certainly don't have all the mods that were baked into that save. So that would be an almost unrecoverable save, even if I did want to go back to. So... but there are options. However, whilst there's definitely going to be one more chapter, and I'm not ruling out future chapters, depending on how well this Bard's College chapter is received. Because again, his official story ended at chapter 9. Chapter 10 was kind of an encore just to finish things off. And future chapters are not as easy to manage. And if you're wondering why, it's because basically at the moment, Leonard has power to deal with more or less everything that the game can throw at him. It's... I mean, let's face it, let's be absolutely honest. The vast majority of Skyrim characters reach that point at about level 30. If you didn't notice during the Let's Play, or you didn't watch my Confessions of a Let's Player, I was doing my best for that entire 10 chapters to keep Leonard in a place of discomfort so that he didn't have everything he needed to deal with all the things being thrown at him. But at the end of chapter 9, that became nigh on impossible. So he is a different character. There will be a different feel to it, I believe. I may be wrong. But of course, it's still Leonard and it's still Inigo. So I'm hoping people enjoy it. I enjoyed going back to it. I definitely enjoyed the Bard's College. Well, I've not even finished it. Only 10 episodes in. Leonard is the librarian or the museum owner? The museum owner, definitely. So... but yeah. However, there's also the matter of the timetable. Like I will bring Skyrim back, and then we'll have Fallout London and Skyrim. I have no idea how long Fallout London is going to take. I get the feeling this is a bloody long game. I really do. I'm like 50 episodes recorded on Fallout London, and I swear I feel like I'm a million miles from finishing. I've got something like 23 hours, probably got about 48, almost 2 days, about 48 hours of playtime on it. Barely feel like I've scratched the surface, to be honest. This just feels like there's so much more. I've not met two of the factions that I know exist. In fact, technically speaking, whilst I've come across they call the fifth column, I've not actually interacted with any of them. So there's loads of major factions, the Gentry, that I've not even touched, and I'm like 50 episodes in, 48 hours in, and I'm like, how the hell long is this? So I looked it up, and for a leisurely playthrough, it can take like, I don't know what they said, like 70 hours or something. And of course, I'm Let's Playing, which obviously extends it even further. So it could be a long one. This could be a long, long one. However, once those two games are gone, we do have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I will probably play once there are a few mods out. And I believe that's not coming out till the beginning of next year. Am I right? And Stalker 2's coming out the end of this year. And those are the two games I'm wanting to put in the timetable. Stalker 2 because I loved Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. And of course, you know, want to support that dev team. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because, oh my god, did I enjoy Kingdom Come Deliverance. But again, we'll have to see whether or not they get immediate playthroughs. Depends on the timetable. Depends on the state of those games as well. So, yeah, if Kingdom Come Deliverance is February the 11th, let's assume there's going to be a couple of months before mods come out that fix all the things that need fixing for me. Head bob, being able to save, all that sort of thing. And we'll go from there. So that's still a while away. When is Skyblivion coming out? Skyblivion is out next year, right? That is going to be a Let's Play. That's no ands, ifs, or buts. Would I consider playing Disco Elysium? I've got it. I might play it. I will not be Let's Playing it. There's just that's outside of the ones I've just mentioned. There is practically zero chance. Next year, later Skywind. Yeah, Skywind could be a long time. The next Skyrim thing you're doing is a new playthrough continuing Leonard. It's chapter 11 of Leonard, which will be the Bard's College, plus a little bit of the East Empire Company mod. So basically what will probably happen is I'll have a two-part special for the East Empire, and then I will start chapter 11. And that will be the Bard's College, and of course the East Empire will continue on. You're guessing late 25 for Skyblivion. It could be. But then... But it's a perfect game for a Gopher Let's Play. Disco Elysium did not look like that looked third person isometric to me. So might make a decent stream, but I don't think I'm going to have time for a stream. But there is literally no time in the timetable anyway. It seems you miss Skyrim quite a bit. I miss it every now and again. It pops up the longer I'm away, which is a good sign. It is a very good sign. I miss that game every now and again, and I suddenly get the urge to go back. Anyone heard anything about Fallout Miami? No, I've not. What about Oblivion? No, I'm waiting for Skyblivion, which I believe is next year, so we don't have long to wait. We do not have long to wait. Will the initial 2025 Skyblivion include the expansions? How many expansions were there in Oblivion? I thought there was just one. Shivering Isles? I'm hoping we can port Skyrim characters over to Skyblivion. That really wouldn't make much sense. I mean, maybe there's a mod. Yeah, Skyrim urges do come back time to time. Yeah, they do. They do. Will you make a new character for Skyblivion? Oh, yeah, well, you have to. It's a new game. It's basically a total conversion mod. The DLC will come later once Skyblivion is fixed. Makes sense. Shame. But at the same time, you know what? That's fine. We'll do 2 chapters. Oh, Knights of the Nine. Yeah, Knights of the Nine is... I never really think of that as an expansion. Knights of the Nine, I always think of that as a... I mean... What was it? Wasn't it like a suit of armor and a very small quest line? It really was quite me. Yeah. But yes, so... Disco Elysium is amazing. Yeah, I've heard that actually. I mean, it's one of those ones that's on my list of things to play for myself, definitely. It's kind of mid in terms of expansion. Was it? Okay. Alright. I can't remember it exactly, you see. It's kind of like Dawn Guard, was it? I must have... I do remember it coming out, and I've played the game with all the expansions a couple of times as well, but like it was such a long time ago, I barely remember what was there. It's like with Morrowind. I really do not remember much about things like the Tribunal. I just don't really remember it. Or the other one, what was it? Crimson Moon or something? Blood Moon or something? I barely remember any of it. Dawnguard is bigger than Knights of the Nine. I thought so. I really did. Remember from Chris Lowe.
Welcome,
Did you hear
minion.
of 2011 Skyrim got an update this week? Yeah, I did. I did. Don't know if it broke the SSE or not. No, it didn't. The only thing it got updated for was the launcher. The actual base game didn't get an update. It was the launcher. And I think that has something to do with mod support. As far as I know, it's not had any effects on anyone. Will I try out Civilization 7? I probably will, and I probably shouldn't. Gah! That's a game that gets under your skin, Civilization. I can't believe we're not counting that epic horse armor. Microtransaction. Never played without the DLCs. Yeah, well, the thing is I played when it first came out, and then I played it later on, but this is 2006. You're talking 18 years ago, and I remember quite a lot about it, but I just don't remember everything. I remember so many aspects of that game were frustrating, and I had to mod out. Skyrim was actually a blessed relief when it came out because of certain changes. The character build system in Oblivion and Morrowind. Oh my god, made me want to beat some of the devs half to death with a controller. I wouldn't use a mouse or keyboard because it might break them. I like mouse and keyboard. But yeah. Oh. Yeah, Civ probably would make a decent stream game, actually. Probably. 13 years ago, we're still playing a fantastic game. What other game has got that kind of longevity? Well, Fallout 4's looking like it might match it, to be honest. Fallout New Vegas is still being played. And that's even older. Fallout 3 as well to some degree, but I feel like New Vegas hammers it, and not just because of Tales of Two Wastelands. I did stream Civ 6 twice, did I? I know I made a video about it. The one I was complaining about the bloody religious victories. They were so annoying. Couldn't stand those. Never disabled them. I found ways around them, but I always objected to it. It was just an annoying form of... It was one of those ones that never really made a huge amount of sense. The cultural victory to some degree did. But for me, the religious victory sounded weird. I felt like the religion you had should have affected your cultural victory. So to me, it should have been more a game mechanic, akin to like the espionage. So you had espionage, you spread your religion, you do all sorts of things, but that was about spreading your cultural victory. The idea that it's somehow separate never made any sense, and the fact that it had little wizards for combat always annoyed the snot out of me. I mean, it's Civ. You had like all these bombers and fighter jets and tanks and these little wizards running around. Bolts of light. And I'm like, what are you doing? Such a dumb addition, I think. Was never a fan, as you can tell. So I made a video about that. But I did like the game. I've always liked Civ, though. I've always liked Civ. Would you play any... Oh, I'm going to stop you right now. I currently have a gajillion games installed ready. But I bought God of War. How long have I been saying I've got God of War installed, guys? 2 years now? Well, it's been for... I've got it installed and not had time to play it. So let's just go with whatever that is. No, probably not. I got too much. Too much to play, and I really want to play some of the ones I've already got. And these will be me games, things I do for myself. As will Shattered Space now. Are you implying wizards aren't historically active? You mean accurate? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Oh dear. Tetris. So yeah. See, this is why we need the podcast rather than doing all this at the start of the Baldur's Gate stream. Because I swear I've answered this question a few times. Outer Wilds. I own it. Did you finish the Star Wars game? Oh, God, no. No, I've not even picked it up again. Again, not had time. I have been reliably told, though, by my brother that the sequel to Fallen Order actually works really well on PC now. I'd stopped myself from getting that Jedi Fallen Order sequel because I'd heard the PC port was terrible, but he seemed to think it was good, and I like it. Not gonna lie, bummed out about Shattered Space announcement. I get it, I do get it. You enjoyed the Starfield playthrough. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed playing it. To be honest, I mean, I still enjoyed Starfield more than I enjoyed Fallout 4, realistically speaking. Both games were flawed. Both games went in the wrong direction, but in different flaws and different directions. But, yeah, Fallout 4 to me is still my least favourite, probably. I don't know. Starfield is... I go back and forth on Starfield, I think. I think that's the problem. Starfield did so many things right that they got wrong in Fallout 4. And it was such a relief. The whole dialogue system, the sudden leaning in and emphasizing dialogue was such a relief to me after Fallout 4. The way the quests worked, the factions, it all felt so much more Skyrim than Fallout. I was just a lot of relief. But then, of course, after 50 hours of play, you start getting that loading screen and travel fatigue, which you didn't get in Fallout 4. So it's kind of like, they learned a lot from Fallout 4 and did a lot way better in Starfield. But then they added a whole new bunch of things that they just didn't do well. It doesn't worry me as much because I think the things that they got wrong in Starfield are things that they just cannot do in the next Elder Scrolls game. Unless they decide to make the next Elder Scrolls game the entire planet of Nirn or something, and they just procedurally generate the whole thing and have loading screens as you go from city to city, in which case they will get annihilated by the gaming community. My expectation is they will not do that, even if it crossed their mind to do so. Because I know what people like to say, Bethesda never learn the lessons, but that's actually dead wrong. They're actually reasonably good at learning their lessons. They may not learn the lessons you wish they'd learned, but they're actually pretty good at learning when something just goes catastrophically badly. I mean, Fallout 4, the dialogue system, it was gone. They replaced that for Fallout 76, right? They replaced that for Fallout 76. That was a sign immediately that they had heard. Right? Probably thinking to themselves, we spent all that time on voice dialogue and yada yada yada, and that's what we get. So, but yeah, I call them Bugthesda. You and like a gajillion other people don't get this. Don't take this the wrong way, but like at this point, yeah, I mean, especially right, Shadow Space is supposed to be a more traditional BGS game. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Because it's all in one place, so there's no fast travel. Which, again, is one of the reasons I want to play it and review it. I want to see if they've learned their lesson. But even Fallout 4, the the lessons they learned, you could already see in Far Harbor. You could see it in Far Harbor, and it didn't appear in Nuka World, unfortunately, but I have a feeling both those DLCs were being worked on at once. So they do learn. I'm hoping they learn for Elder Scrolls 6, and you just need to get all of the lessons they've learned right. Basically, for Elder Scrolls 6. Thank you very much. I suspect the Elder Scrolls 6 will be an easier title for them to get right. That is not me saying they will get it right, but I think it's an easier one for them to get right. I really do. So, time for the BG3 swap. Yeah, we'll give it a minute or two. Thing is if we swap, we're just going to continue this conversation over on Baldur's Gate. So, people are saying Shattered Space is supposed to be very similar to Far Harbor. We will just have to see. And luckily, because I'm not Let's Playing it, I will be able to zerg a playthrough of that very quickly. That's something I couldn't do even though I got early access to the main game. I'm actually beginning to think, really, for new games like that, even Elder Scrolls 6, where if I get early access especially, but even if I don't, I should probably play it through first before I do a Let's Play. Just really play it through. I mean, when I started Let's Playing Skyrim, I'd already got, I don't know how many playthroughs done already, like 12, 20 or something, so, yeah. That they even gave us the dialogue system in Fallout 4 shows they don't understand why people play their games. This is the biggest issue, and Starfield continues that. Well, it didn't. Starfield, they changed the dialogue system back. But I know what you mean by they don't understand why people play their games. The problem is, the reason they don't understand why people play their games is because the people who enjoy their games never tell them why. This is why I did the Elder Scrolls Formula series. I did a series where I discussed all of their games and what I loved about them. People always tell them what they don't like. And what you did hear from a lot of people, well, not a lot, but enough people, and they were vocal, was, your dialogue sucks. It should be more like Mass Effect. Because BioWare were the big thing at the time. And that's what Fallout 4 was. Fallout 4 was a Fallout game where they tried to make a BioWare dialogue system. Except they're not very good at the BioWare-style dialogue or story. To be honest, they should have stuck to what they're good at, but they tried to do that. You know, the thing is as soon as Fallout 4 came out and we all found out that it was a voice protagonist, we let them know we didn't want that. But how many people before Fallout 4 said, you know what I love about Skyrim? It has no voice protagonist. That is one of the best things about it. And I love those dialogue lists. Dialogue lists. These games that give us dialogue wheels are crap. I like Skyrim dialogue. Nobody was saying this until Fallout 4 came out. And therein lies the problem. Which is why I've tried to tell them what I like rather than what I disliked. I tell them what I dislike as well. Christopher Lowe, thank you for the £5 super chat. Waiting to play Test 6 will also let us avoid spoilers. Main reason I didn't watch Starfield. Also possibly true. But yeah. Why did Bethesda think making procedural generation for their game was a good idea? Well, it was a good idea in some of their games. And they've always had procedural generation in their games. You didn't necessarily notice where it was all the time, but they always had it. It's a long story. Very often you don't know what will work, or more importantly, what will fail until you try it. It's just the nature of this. Anyway, that's it. We're now definitely covering ground I've covered a gajillion times. A voice protagonist sounds great until you realise how much it limits dialogue options. Exactly. Also, how much it limits role-playing, because, of course, each character sounds the damn same. So, there you go. Procedural generation is not a bad thing, it's how you implement it. It's true. Anyway, guys, we're running around in circles. We're definitely running around in circles. Zare, thank you for the $5 super chat. Fallout 5 player character will be Atomborn.
Welcome, minion.
Don't say that. Who have we got? G-Swine, resub, 60 month. Gain atom magic powers by absorbing atom enemies. Atom mania, press Z to atom. I'm hoping Bethesda, for all their silence, have been watching Fallout London. Because I'm telling you now, when I finally review Fallout London, spoiler alert, better than Fallout 4. In fact, the game it reminds me of the most is actually Fallout 3, with a smattering of New Vegas. Anyway, getting ahead of ourselves. Ladies and gents, thank you for joining me for this quick podcast. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and I'm going to be back with Baldur's Gate 3. Of course, you are more than welcome to join me for that. So, see you in a couple of minutes.